Okay, very good morning to all the students. After a bit of a break, I think you had your exams, and that's why we could not meet for 2 weeks. So, welcome back. This is teaching-wise the last session because now onward there'll be assignments and submissions and vivas and all. How are we going to do that? I'll explain in a while. But in the meantime, I just wanted to remind that still there are some students who have not submitted their first, second assignment. There are a few those who are not regular for some medical reasons or the other. So make sure that you get hold of the assignments from your friends. The details of the assignments are already shared with all of you. So make sure that you get those assignments done and submitted within a week's time, because you had an exam, so I did not bother you. But now make sure that you submit all your pending assignments if there are any pending assignments. Then today, after this session, that is going to be the self introduction that we are going to discuss. I'll be giving you the last assignment, which is going to be self-introduction. Introduce yourself in French is what we are going to see. So make sure that you submit your assignments if you have not done yet, the previous ones also, and this one also. All the assignment submissions will be accepted through emails so that I'll not miss it out. Nevertheless, I'll also prepare a list of submitted and not submitted so that you can cross verify. In case I have missed out if you have submitted or anything like that, you will have time to do that. So before, say, Diwali vacation, our sessions would be all over. Including this session, there'll be 2 to 3 more sessions required for your submissions that we are going to have. So make sure that you are ready with that. How are you going to do that? I'll inform you, and then accordingly you can prepare. Right. Okay. So for today's session, we are going to have self-introduction. One of the very important aspect of any language. When you are learning a new language, you would like to know how to introduce yourself, and that's what exactly we'll try and do. So we had seen greetings, if you remember initially. Then we had seen some of say gender, say male and female issues. We had also seen the articles, and then we had seen the numbers, and then how to tell time in French. So this is what we have seen so far. There'll be some vocabulary aspects that will be given to you because it's a intermediate level, so you can manage on your own, like days of the week, days of the month, which are similar in terms of months, but not so similar with Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays. So that will be given to you. You can have a look at it, and accordingly you can prepare. So in the Viva, there could be some questions related to vocabulary, right? So make sure that you get hold of those material as well. I'll be passing on to you through WhatsApp group and other platforms so that you can refer to those materials. So that's what we're going to have. So let's look at the self-introduction. So first thing first, it's called c'est pour se présenter. That is for self presentation or self-introduction. What are the phrases that you use, right? And there'll be some unique things that are related to only French, and that'll be slightly tricky for some of you. But I just want you to be with the flow, and I'm sure you'll be able to understand that. So first thing first, you ask somebody's name and you tell your name. That's what you do in your self-introduction is what we're going to see. So how do you tell your name? So that's the first thing first. There are 3 options with which you can tell your name. These are 3 options with which you can, of course, when you introduce yourself, you start with your name.
Sorry, sir.
Yes,
Excuse me, sir. Can
yes,
you speak a bit louder? You're not audible.
at all, not audible at all.
You're not clearly audible. Can you speak a bit louder?
Okay, I'll also speak a little louder, and whatever devices you use, if you can increase the volume, I think we'll meet in between. I'll also increase my physical volume, and you also increase your technical volume. So I'm sure will reach somewhere, right? So
Yeah.
I hope fine. So
Thank you, sir.
sure. So these are 3 ways in which we introduce ourselves. We tell our names like this. So it would be tongue twister for some of you. I'll start with something which you are familiar with. You tell your name in English as my name is, then your name. Let's say Vikrant Desai, for example, right? So my name, literal translation would be monom. Mo is my, nom is name, is, and Vikrant Desai is your name, right? So this is English way of telling your name. So that option is available in French as well. Monome, you know this est, st would be silent, and that's why monome. That is, my name is whatever your name, right? So mon nom, that's an option. But a typical French person would not use my name is like this. There are some expressions where they use, but mostly they'll not use this expression to tell their names. So that's one. Second is I am, right? So for example, I am Vikram Desai. So there, je, as you all of know already, that je stands for I. Je, je is I. Je suis is I am. Literally, it is I am. So je suis Vikram Desai. So it is literal translation like I am Vikram Desai. So that's the second option, which is also not used uh, very frequently by French people. It's an expression, but the phrase I am, that is Rashmi, is more used with your profession. For example, I am a teacher. For example, I am a student, something like that. So it's not used with name. That is, by while telling your name, it's not that frequently used as my name is or I am. These two expressions are more English while telling your name. But typically, the French people would use this first expression you can see as je m'appelle. Je m'appelle, right? Zamapel, Vikrant Desai. So what is Zamapel? You can see an expression or a verb called apler, Appler. Apler means to call. Literal meaning of apler is to call. Zamapel means I call myself. So the literal translation of the first statement, which is I call myself Vikrant, right? Now, it might sound tongue twister to some of us, but this is how French people will tell their name most frequently. Other two options are also there, but they are less frequently. A typical way of telling your name or asking somebody's name will be uh, quel est votre nom? What is your name? Quel is what? Quel est votre nom? What is your name? Your answer would be je m'appelle, then your name, right? So je m'appelle is more common, je suis is less, mon nom is least common, or way of introducing your name, right? So I repeat one more time, then we'll go to the next one. The most basic is mon nommé, mon nommé, mon nommé Vikram Desai, which is least say frequently used way of telling your name in French. Second is je suis. Je suis is more used for profession, more used for who you are. I'll slightly digress for 2 minutes of telling you if anybody is aware of Charlie Hebdo, the magazine. Charlie Hebdo magazine in Paris, that is Paris in France, a magazine that is controversial for many reasons. The last bit was that they are popular for satires and religious comments that they make for all religions. So that's they are targeted by the religious extremists all the time. But before a couple of years, I think before 5 6 years, what happened was some Islamist extremist felt offended because Charlie Hebdo had portrayed the picture of Prophet Muhammad, and it's forbidden in Islamic things, and that's why they feel very offended, and they charged into this uh, office of Charlie Hebdo magazine, and they killed as many as 15 of the staff members of Charlie Hebdo. Right. So there, it created a whole lot of a buzz, particularly in France, which is known for the three things. Like in India, we have Satyameva Jayate as our emblem. For French people, it is say liberté, fraternité, and equalité. That is liberty, brotherhood, and fraternity. Especially the liberty is something which is very, very dear to them. So freedom of expression, for example, right, is there. So which is taken seriously, and they say that it's their freedom of expression to express. So their uh, creative people, the artists from around the world in general, and particularly from Europe, and they gathered in say Paris, and they came with a play card which became very popular. You can search on Google; it's available. They said, "Je suis Charlie." The play card said, "Je suis Charlie." That is, I am Charlie. Charlie Hebdo was the name of magazine. So people said that if you think Charlie Hebdo has done something wrong, and that's why you killed him, I am also Charlie Hebdo. Kill me. So that was very popular. Charlie Hebdo, that is Je suis Charlie. That was very popular. Interesting thing was that in France, the in entire Europe, apart from those Islamic countries, majority of the population, Muslim population, is there in French. Legal migrant, say population in France is of Muslims, and they are like peace loving and very democratic kinds of people. So they had an interesting reaction. They said that we are not with the terrorists, right? The killing of people, we are not with it, but we are also not with Charlie Hebdo, because what Charlie Hebdo did, the kinds of objectionable portrait, we are not with Charlie Hebdo. So they protested against the terrorists, but against the Charlie Hebdo also. So they came up with the placard, this Islamic, fraternity in France, with the placard said, "Je ne suis Charlie," that is, "I am not Charlie." Right? I don't support Charlie. I'm also not supporting, like we, that is the Islamic groups in France. They said we are also not supporting terrorism. We are against terrorism. We are against any kind of violence. But we are not with Charlie, and we are not Charlie. So they said, "Je ne suis pas Charlie," that is, I'm not Charlie. So there you can see that it's not used for telling your name. It's used for some other purpose, like I'm a student or I'm Charlie, something like that. So I just thought to give you this political, say, and controversial thing that took place before some years, where the Yashvi phrase was used. It's very popular. You can search on Google. You'll find many articles on that. Anyway, so that's Yashvi is I am. So Yashvi is the name that you can use to tell your name. But most frequently, way of telling your name would be Je m'appelle. Je m'appelle, your name. So Je m'appelle Vikrant Desai. Je m'appelle Vanshika Lal. Je m'appelle Mustafa Ansari. Whatever your name, you can use. So these are three ways in which you tell your name. One. Next, how do you tell your age, right? Or let's say, how do you ask somebody's age? So you always know that there are two ways of asking. One is with you, another is with tu, that is informal you. That is, तुम्हारा नाम क्या है, आपका नाम क्या है, right? So तुम्हारा is informal, आपका is formal, right? So two versions of you, which is not there in English. In English, it is one you, for singular also, for plural also, for formal you also, informal you also. In French, you have two you. So, for example, say, quel âge avez-vous? Quel âge avez-vous? आपका नाम क्या है? It's a formal way of asking somebody's age, right? And of course, quel âge as-tu? That is, what is your age? Informal, right? And your answer would be, j'ai, what is 18 in French? 18, if you remember, 10 was this, 8 was with. So
Is
this,
with.
17.
très bien, this with. So j'ai 18 ans, j'ai 18 ans. Now, literally, j'ai means I have. Remember, je suis is I am. Now, you are not saying I am 18 years old. Now, don't ask me why, but in French, you say j'ai, that is, I have 18 years or whatever. Don't translate it, otherwise, it will be confusing. How do you tell your age in French? J'ai 18 ans, j'ai whatever is your number of age, right? So you use j'ai, j with an apostrophe ai, which literally translation I have, right? So for example, j'ai un stylo, I have a pen. So I can say j'ai un stylo. We'll see to be and to have in the next semester, which is grammar. But to just give you a brief, say, preface, that J literally means I have. But while telling your age, you use I have, which means I am this year old, right? And on, ANS stands for years. So I'm 18 years old. Is j'ai 18 ans, j'ai 19 ans, whatever is age, j'ai 20 ans, whatever is the age, you tell the number, and on is the age and years. Okay? So that's how you tell your name, and that's how you tell your age. So you tell your age as j'ai 18 ans, j'ai 20 ans, j'ai whatever is the age. Okay? So are you clear with this much? So this is how you tell your age, right? So after your name, you tell your age, you tell your who you are you a student, are you a teacher, whatever. For most of you, you are a student, le professional. So for example, je suis. Now, je suis étudiant. Je suis étudiant. The is S is silent in je suis, last S. But because of étudiant, A, S will not remain silent. It becomes je suis étudiant. Je suis étudiant. Now you can see additional E into bracket is for male and female, right? Which is not there in English. If you are a male student or a female student, you are a student, right? There is no change in the word student because it's a gender. It does not have a gender. It's a common gender, writer, student, teacher, the word or a friend, for example, it does not have a gender in English. But in French, every noun, even a common noun, has a gender. So, are you a male student or a female student? So, if you are a male student, you would say, Je suis étudiant. Je suis étudiant. T silent. With male student, Je suis étudiant. Je suis étudiant. For a female student, additional E would be added. And that's why a female student would say, Je suis étudiante. Je suis étudiante. T, t, very light, but t would be there for female names because it's end with E. And for male, E will be dropped. Male student is E with an accent aigu, T-U-D-I-A-N-T. Right? So that is Je suis étudiant, male. Je suis étudiant, male. Je suis étudiante, female. Je suis étudiante, female. Right? So that's for you. For example, you are working somewhere. You are an employee. Then je suis employé. Je suis employé. That is, I am an employee, male or female. If you are a female, additional E would be added. Thankfully, no change in pronunciation because it's end with E with an accent aigu. So that's why our pronunciation will remain same for male and female. But spelling will have an additional E for a female employee, right? So that's there. For example, there are some common gender, very few, but for common gender. For example, whether you are a male or a female, if you are a secretary, then je suis secrétaire because it end with the spelling itself end with E, with male also but female also. But there are very rare such words which are common gender in French. Otherwise, it has an additional E for female. E would be dropped with the others, right? So, for example, a manager, gérant, gérant, right? So je suis gérant. Gérant is a manager. Gérant is a manager. And if you're a female manager, je suis gérante. Je suis gérante. Female, je suis gérante. Male, je suis gérant. Gérant, a manager. A manager, right? And then je suis, say, comptable, right? Je suis comptable. What is comptable? You can see an accountant. Use the screen. Just a minute. Tell me when you are able to see the screen. I'll share in a while. Okay. Yeah. So comptable, that is from the accounting, that you are an accountant, right? So je suis comptable. Je suis comptable. So that's your profession. You can find out for your legal field what you will become, an advocate, right? So avocat. So all those phrases you will find, and you can just add whatever profession you have after je suis. So je suis, I am, and then whatever is your profession. Just check your pronunciation once, twice with a good talking dictionaries which are available, and accordingly you can talk of your profession. So je m'appelle, my name is, then my age is, and je suis, that is I am. Whatever you are, teacher, student, whatever, right? So that's second. Then there is next detail that you usually talk is about the say la situación da familia. Familia is a family. Familia is family, right? So the situation of the family, that means your status, marital status. Are you single, engaged, in relation, divorcee, widow, etc. So these are the expressions for that. Now there is a term called je suis célibataire, which is a common gender for male and female both. You can use je suis célibataire. Now célibataire means a person who is not in relation, right? It could be that he broke up, right? Once he was in relation, now he broke up, so then his status would be célibataire. That is not in relation at the moment, right? So that situation is called je suis célibataire. The English connotation of the term celibacy and other things are different connotation. Root word is same. The person who is not into any conjugal, that is marital or opposite gender relation, or any relation. In those countries, they have lesbian and homosexuality as well, which is very legally okay. So there, any kind of such say relation one does not have, that state is called Je suis célibataire. That is, I'm not in relation or I'm single, you can say, right? So, je suis célibataire, right? And then if you are engaged with somebody, then you might use the term je suis fiancé, je suis fiancée, right? With an additional e, of course, would be feminine. And these words are also popular in English as well: fiancé and fiancé. Fiancé, male; fiancée, female, right? For you are engaged, male, you would say je suis fiancé, je suis fiancé. If you're a female and engaged, you would say je suis fiancée, je suis fiancée. So that's I'm engaged. So that's second. If you're married, then je suis marié, je suis marié. If you're a female, je suis marié, je suis marié. So that is I'm married. Female, mari, male. Interestingly, the term mari, mari, would be for husband. Mari, mari, for husband. For wife, the same word, femme, F-E-M-M-E. Femme is for a woman also, femme is for wife also. We did discuss that in the relations. So that's there. So je suis marié, and je suis marié. That is, I'm married. Then divorce, which is very, very common in European countries. So je suis divorcé, je suis divorcé, male, je suis divorcé, je suis divorcé. English connotation has this only feminine term, that is divorcee. That person is divorcee. It could be male also, it could be female also in English. In French, you have je suis divorcé, male, je suis divorcé, male, je suis divorcée, female, je suis divorcée, female. So that's that. And the last status possible could be that either your wife or husband is dead or no more. In that case, you might say female would be the first one is male. Je suis veuf. Je suis veuf. That means my wife is dead. I'm a widower. And then je suis veuve. Je suis veuve. Veuve with a woman whose husband is dead. That is a widow, right? So that's the status of one's relation in terms of engaged or single or married or divorced or widower. Before we change, I'll once more pronounce these terms. Listen carefully. Just male or female in single relation would be je suis célibataire, je suis célibataire. That is, I'm single, I'm not in relation. Je suis fiancé, je suis fiancé, I'm male and I'm engaged. Je suis fiancé, je suis fiancé, I'm female and I'm engaged. Right? And then je suis marié, je suis marié, that is, I'm married. Je suis marié, je suis marié. So that will be an elongated E would be there with marié, right? Otherwise, almost same. And then, of course, clear is divorce, divorcé, and divorcee, right? So je suis divorcé, je suis divorcé, and je suis divorcé. Je suis divorcé. And the widower and widow would be je suis veuf, F not silent. Je suis veuf, je suis veuve, je suis veuve. Veuf, male whose wife is dead. Veuve is a female whose husband is dead, right? So this is the situation of the family. That is your marital status or relation status, you might say. So this is for that. Then the habitat, that is, where do you live, where are you from, you can say. So j'habite, je is for I. Habiter, habiter is a verb, that is to live, right? To live in a place that you are. So for example, j'habite Rajkot. This O is at, A with an accent, tag you is at, or to also, from also, it would vary. But in this context, it will be say in, right? So that is j'habite Rajkot. J'habite Rajkot. That is, I live in Rajkot. So that's there. Then comes introducing the family members. So either you will introduce a male family member or a female family member. For a male family member, my is mo, M-O-N, mo. And a female would be ma, that is my, but female, right? So that's there. Se, C with an apostrophe est means this is, right? So c'est mon père, this is my father. C'est mon père, père, father, you know already. So père is father. This is my father. Il s'appelle Prakash Pai. Right? So il s'appelle, literally he call himself, or you can say his name is. Right? So c'est mon père, this is my father. Il s'appelle Prakash Pai. This is my father, his name is Prakash Pai. Then c'est ma mère, this is my mother. Ma mère, my, but female, mother is female, so ma mère. C'est ma mère, this is my mother. Elle s'appelle. Il and elle, you know already. Il is he, elle is she. Right? So c'est ma mère. Elle s'appelle Savita Ben. Right? Elle s'appelle Savita Ben. So that is mother's name, father's name. So this is my mother, this is my father. My father's name is this, my mother's name is this. So c'est ma mère. Uh, yeah, c'est ma mère. Elle s'appelle Savita Ben. C'est mon père. That is, this is my father, and his name is Prakash Pai. So il s'appelle Prakash Pai. Last, of course, j'adore. Adore is a verb, I think, in English also less popular. Like admire is more popular, but adore is less popular in English. But that word is, of course, from French. Adore is to love, to respect, to like somebody, but usually with the respect. It's not just love, but respect also. So then j'adore, that is I adore my family, or you can say I love my family, or you might say j'aime. J'aime is also I like or I love, right? So j'adore ma famille. I love my family, or I adore my family, right? J'adore ma famille. Make sense? J'adore, j'adore. The rule that you must have noticed with je means I. You know that je is I. But wherever the verb followed is starting with a, e, I, o, u, or h, as in zabit, then je will drop e, and it becomes Jabit or Jador. Or if you remember, Jain, I have was Jain. So you drop E and you collision with an apostrophe, and that's called Jador, Jabit. Right? When we'll see, say, to be and to have in the next semester, we are going to discuss with more examples. But right now, you might say that sometimes je is je and sometimes j with an apostrophe. Why it is? So that is called collaison, right? Or liaison. Liaison is when you contract two words. This is also contraction. Say, ce sir means this, and it start followed by a verb est. So there are two e's. So they'll not ever use together. Two vowels will never use together. And ending a word ends with a vowel, a second word starts with a vowel, then there'll be a liaison. Usually the previous word would be dropped with an say vowel, and then liaison would be there. So contraction would be there. Like do not, you becomes don't. Similarly, sir and a becomes say. Je and abit become jabit. Je and ador become zedor. Right? So that's Liosa. We'll see more in the next semester, but for your better translation and better understanding. So these are a few statements you can use while introducing yourself. I'll pass on to you a PDF which will help you to give translation as well as the uh, understanding. I think I have. I'll share with you that as well, and then I'll invite questions if you have. Okay. Yes. Can you see this? So this document I'm going to share with all of you. It has a translation, right? So this is how you tell your name. These are the options that you have to tell your name, and examples are given. As you can see, these are a few statements that are given. A source also have given, so you can go for more examples, and more audio with visual aids are also available, right? So these are a few expressions that you can use for self introduction. Fine. So this would be your self-introduction. I'll also be sharing with you some of the videos for self-introduction. So based on this, you are expected to give your self-introduction, right? I want all of you to prepare a brief, short introduction in French with the help of these phrases that we have learned today, with the help of these examples that we have learned today. So how do you introduce yourself? You tell your name, you tell your native, where are you from, you tell your age, you tell what you are, you may introduce a family member or two, and then you may end with you can also talk about your hobbies if you wish, like the examples you'll find from the PDF that I'll share, that Jane, that is I like. What do you like? J'aime écouter de la musique. I like to listen to music. J'aime regarder la télévision. I like to watch television, or I like to watch movies, for example. Right? So j'aime is what the phrase you can use for sharing what you like or what are your hobbies. Right? So these are a few phrases which I have shared, and I want all of you to be prepared with your brief, short self introduction in French. Right? By next week onwards, we are going to have this within the class. So there are two assignments that were there. Previously, I think we had this pair work, which most of you could participate before the mid-sem break. And all of you did. Those who could not, make sure that you do it in the next lecture, right? Your submission would be this recording, right? So in the next lecture, if you will participate, that means it will be recorded. Previously, those who already participated, they are recorded, asking time and telling time. That was an assignment that was there. Most of you did participate with the pair. A few of you are yet to be completing it. So make sure that you do it in the next lecture. All the lectures now onwards would be submissions, doubt solving, and clarifying those who are have still not submitted. Right. So that would be the case with this. I'll also be sharing with you a few of the vocabulary items which you just need to drill and practice. We'll not do it in the class because you can manage it like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, lundi, mardi, mercredi. So you just need to know the counterparts. Okay, this is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and this is the French counterpart. And I'll also share the video with you so that you can practice. So for example, dimanche is Sunday, aujourd'hui is today, DF is there, or demain, demain is tomorrow. So adama is see you tomorrow, right? So those expressions we have seen some of them, and rest of these vocabulary items will be given to you with audios and videos so that you can listen and practice, right? So that's all for today's session. I'll take the attendance, and then in case you have question queries, you may ask. Right? Let me take the attendance first. Okay. Do we have Ronak? Ronak Sinha?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do we have Anand Joshi? Anand Joshi? Okay. Vishwaraj? Vishwaraj Gohil? Vishwaraj, are you there? No. Avni? Avni Bapat?
Yes,
Avni?
sir.
Sure. Do we have
Yes,
Ram?
sir.
Ram?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Do we have Brijen? Brijen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sanya? Sanya, are you there? Sanya Sakur? No. Shreya? Do we have Shreya?
Present, sir.
Sure. Gauri? Gauri, are you
Yes,
there?
sir.
Sure.
Yes.
Do we have Drishti? Drishti Patel? No. Aditya? Aditya, are you there? Aditya Popat? No. Do we have Dikshita?
Yes, sir.
Sure. Nidhi? Nidhi, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Tushar? Tushar, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Vartika? Vartika, are you there? Vartika? No. Mida? Mida Joshi? No. Yashi?
Present, sir.
Okay. Do we have Kelvin? Kelvin, are you there? Kelvin? No. Manas? Manas, are you there?
Present, sir.
Sure.
Present,
Arif?
sir.
Sure. Arif? Arif?
Present, sir. Present, sir.
Sure. Karan? Karan, are you there? Karan? No? Okay.
Present, sir.
Karan is there. Okay. Richa has left, I think. Okay.
Sir, Jay present.
Jay is present. Godfrey? Godfrey? Are you there, Godfrey? No. Angela? Are you there, Angela? Angela? No. Vanshika? Vanshika, are you there?
Present, sir.
Sure. Matilda? 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 No. Malvisha? Malvisha, are you there? Malvisha is not there. Sagufta? Sagufta?
Present, sir.
Okay. Do we have Pratham? Pratham?
Present, sir.
Okay. Mihir Viradia? Mihir Viradia? Mihir Viradia is not there. Okay. Mihir Kukadia? Mihir Kukadia?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm there.
Sure. Sure. Then we have Harsh. Harsh Manwar. Harsh, are you
Present,
there?
sir.
Sure. Bhargav?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bhargav is also there.
Yes, sir.
Sure. Chirag?
Present, sir.
Okay. Then we have Mansi. Mansi Gadania. Mansi is not there. Okay. Mustafa, are you there, Mustafa?
Present, sir.
Okay. Do we have Jainam? Jainam Shah?
Present, sir. Present, sir.
Vamakshi? Vamakshi Chauhan? Vamakshi, are you there? No. Do we have Aryan? Aryan Srivastav? Aryan? It's not there. Okay. Isaac? Isaac, are you there? Isaac? No. Omar? Omar, are you there? Omar? No. Adam? Adam? Okay. And Paul. Last is Paul. Do you have Paul in the class? Okay. It's not there. That's all for today. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, sir.